저는 한국에서 학교 시설에 대한 미래 교육을 위한 공간 재구조와 그리고 또 지역과 함께하는 학교 복합 시설 관련된 사업과 연구를 진행하고 있고요. 그리고 또 박성철 박사님이 계신데, 박성철 박사님은 우리나라 학교에 대한 공간 재구조와 그리고 또 IT 교육 환경, 그리고 학교 복합 시설과 학교 범지 환경 설계와 관련된 다양한 연구를 진행하고 계십니다. 오늘 제가 발표드릴 주제는 미래 교육을 위한 학교 공간 재구조와 사례인데요.
So this is about the restructuring of the space. So we'd like to speak about the case in South Korea, and also I will focus on the creation of complex facilities. I'd like to focus on the cases. Some of them have been jointly participated by PAC. So for the purpose of convenience, I'd like to make a presentation. I ask for your permission for that. Please refer to the material, and there are 4 minutes of the video, and also 2 minutes video, and the comment part will also be translated to the extent they are possible. First is the order of presentation. There are 3 categories. First is future-proofing policies for school facilities. I'd like to be briefly explaining what we plan to do. And the second point, stories of restructuring school spaces. And the third is some of the examples of school complexes. For the second chapter and the third chapter, I would like to share with you the voices of the users who participated in the actual creation of the learning space, and the users who used the outcome. So if you listen to the voices of the users, it might be leading to your further understanding. First, let me explain to you the future-proofing policies for school facilities in South Korea. The Department of Education is responsible for school space restructuring and the creation of policy. Last year, they submitted a 5-year plan covering 2024 to 2028. They came up with the school space restructuring policy, which had been exercised and implemented starting last year. And for South Korea, some of you may know from the news, South Korea is the comprehensive birth rate is 0.78. So South Korea has the lowest level of the fertility rate, and with a sharp decline of the number of population, we are seeing the decrease of the number of students, and some of them had no other choice but to close the schools. And as can be seen in Japan, in South Korea, we are now seeing the consolidation of the schools. So some of the schools will join hands and become one. And also, in the past, there had been time when there was a sharp rise of the population, and then they are now getting antiquated because they were built long time ago. And now we have to be dealing with the situation where many of the schools are very old. And also, things are changing, and also at the same time, we have to present the future-proofing vision. And globally, things are changing, and we have to deal with the changes for the changes of the nature of the education and learning in the future. So we have to take the comprehensive ways to deal with the situation. That was a background of the 5-year plan that had been presented. So the first point is about the first point is the school space policies that encompass the restructuring of facilities that have been in existence for more than 40 years. Additionally, there is a focus on the revitalization of school complexes in collaboration with local communities. Total investment over the next 5 years would be 10.43 trillion won. First, I'd like to speak about the restructuring of aging school facility spaces. This is about the restructuring of the 40-plus-year-old school facility into living space that balances learning, play, and relaxation. So the point here is to imagining school facilities as user-centered spaces where a variety of classes, activities, and rest areas coexist, which enable flexible, open school spaces. The second point is the school complex revitalization project. We are now seeing the decline of the number of population, thus seeing the decline of the number of students, and some of the schools are at the verge of the extinction, and there are a large number of communities where many of the schools are about to be closed. Outside of the metropolitan areas, many of the schools in the local areas are having this kind of the problem. So it is important to have the revitalization of the schools and also expansion of the complex. And the Department of Education is now focusing on the new initiatives, which is the expanding school complexes. So they are now selecting and support about 200 projects for 5 years from 2023 through business plan competition. So they are trying to promote school education and local development by installing various cultural, sports, and welfare facilities. And approximately 80 school complexes were selected and had been under construction in 2023 to 2024. An amount of budget is about 1.8 trillion won for the next 5 years. Next, I would like to speak about the stories of restructuring school spaces. Please take a look at the video. And this was a very typical case. So there was a long corridor, and there have been the similar classes that can be seen here. And then we are now shifting to the selective schools. So the students will be able to select their subjects and the classrooms in which they are able to learn. So I'd like you to share this 4-minute video. Zero energy era. What we have to do is to have the environmental friendly school. This is Yeongdong High School. On the first floor, you have the artificial pond, and around this you have decks. So it is possible to view and observe various animals and the plants from over there. And then the central hall and the central deck has been connected. So it is possible to have a performance of an orchestra. And at the time of the designs, many of the teachers had discussion as to the kind of thing that should be created in the center. And the connection was the key word. They decided to have a library that can be connected. And this is a central library that spans from the second floor and the underground to the second floor above the ground. So they are able to enjoy the reading while they are able to see the situation outside through the windows. So they are able to eat, or they are able to enjoy reading. So the height was calculated so that it is possible for students to enjoy their reading, that they enjoy their view. This is the Yonam School, junior high and high school. With the collapsible the doors, they are able to go into the very wide open the stairs. On the left hand side, you have the stairs, and on the right hand side, you have the space where you are able to read books. And the students are invited to take this, to use this. So 2.8-inch the screen is used. So as many as 200 students are able to listen to the lecture, and this can be used as a whole. And then there are three, the teachers' rooms, B3, in the basement 3. They are able to have the system, the space, and also they are able to communicate with the students. So this is a place for the engagement with the students. On the third floor, this is a space for the teachers to take a rest. So after the lessons or after some communication with students, some of them may be tired, and they are able to take a rest here. And on the terrace, on the roof, in front of you is the mountain over there. And also you are able to see the ocean. So it is the source of the healing. Terrace is not only meant for the teachers, but also it is connected to the external stairs. So it is widely used by the students as well. This school was established in 2020. And this is one of the leading schools. And it is enjoying very high level of reputation about the classrooms. Starting from the designing stage, there have been many constellations made for each subject, depending on the profile of the subject, depending on the number of students who study there. They realize that there are many different the classrooms are needed. So they decided to use the collapsible walls, so it is possible to change the space allocated for each lesson. And the students would go to other places, and then they are able to have an access to their own lockers, so they are able to keep their writing devices or other equipments in their lockers. Time spent in the schools is not long, not short, but if they try to do the same thing every day, that's really boring. But every day they are able to go to many places, and it is quite attractive. And students are able to find the attractiveness of the schools every day.
말씀을 해주신 내용이고요. 저희 이제 학교 건축을 하면서 가장 먼저
So this is the first time, and in the past, it was the center of the pillar was the communication of the knowledge. But in the future, well, back then the teachers were the center of force. But now we are shifting to the future way of learning. The students will be able to experience and have discussions and have activities. This will become the central activities of the learning and education. So that means that the lessons will be done for the students. So the catchphrase here is was the emergence, the education in the past. Was it possible? And is it possible now? That's something we have to ask. And what kind of space is needed? So these are the issues that we have to consider. We are now working on it.
형태가 미래교육.
So I'm also thinking about what kind of space is most suitable for schools. I have been continuing such research. Effective space must have openness and also must connect space to space and space to external environment. And it could be also called the multi-tiered structure and multi-purpose spaces. And the spaces must have various sizes, spaces of all sizes, uses and functions, and it must be versatile, flexible, and various activities and classes should be able to be conducted in such spaces, and it must space must offer encounter with other students. In Korea, from 5 years ago, we have a word space innovation. So large schools are now being built into smaller spaces. For example, the near chief center chief has talked about this. So lower grade classrooms, they have learned in family, inside their family, and they must have attended nursery, and they come to school for the first time. So we must provide a family-like environment, space where they feel free and they can adapt to, and where they can really become close with teachers. So where they can engage in school activities. So on this left-hand side, you can see the old school with its corridor, but we put a bench and we put a folding door so that now the students can talk with each other over this open space, over through window. And here, this is a school lunch on the left. So we made this food service area multi-purpose, and also we have a kind of a installation of attic. We have other examples. This one made 2 rooms into 1 unit, and we have a small stage where children can have a small expression, and also we have a kind of a reading bunker. So I showed you the Sachom Yonnam in a video. That is like on the right-hand side. It's we've restructured the existing single-story school building into a terrace house-style school space with an open and variable space structure. This is the existing building. We tore down the existing building and we built a terrace house structure. And we have the solar panels on the roof. This school is a high school. So inside the library, we have some artistic space. And this space can be used for various classes. This was the first example of such an open library. So this multi-purpose library is connected with our art room. And we have a storage seating and a multi-story library collaborative learning space. So shared learning spaces by grade level. And we have this adaptive learning support space. And this space can be used together with the community people. And this is a adaptive classroom and also science labs with theory labs. So each room has potential uses as well. This is a piloti. And this is a rest area. And also an area for them to socialize, the students to socialize. And we have the meeting room. We had separate meeting rooms and teachers' workspaces and relaxation area, but now they are in one space. The teachers' room is like a cafe, and students can come there and have communication with teachers. And we see that students are coming more to socialize with teachers. So these are multi-purpose lounge. Teachers can relax here, and it's very open and bright. So these are some examples of the school complexes. This is a video. This is a multi-purpose complex, and the operation is conducted by the foundation of the city, and this operation also includes lifelong education. This is a special needs education. We ask the local volunteers to also join the other education purposes like vocational training and education for the young children. And there's a tie-up between the heads of each division. So the number of students are increasing. We did not have enough effective spaces. But now we can utilize these centers, and students can engage in various activities. In the educational curriculum, there's some kind of a extracurricular activities that can be conducted here. In school, from the beginning of the school year, the school also operates after-school centers for children. So those are school complexes. I will skip some of my slides. So the school complexes, they are centered in the elementary school, and the local government operates pools, the gym and libraries, our care center and lifelong education, and also parking lots. So schools and community people, they share these facilities, and school has its own dedicated schedules. First example is the basement of a school. They built a swimming pool and gym and a caregiving facility and a parking lot. And also they have a ground. This is for special needs school. They have a swimming pool. The community and students both use the swimming pool. This is a park. They built a library, and school and the community both share the library. This is a library operated by the local government, but is built inside the school. And in Korea, we have baseball grounds and sports facilities, and they are also built. In Yeonnam High School, there's a concert hall and sport facilities operated by the school. Generally speaking, inside a school building, we put a community facilities, and also in this case they could not have a sports facility, so a park is used as a sports ground. And students and local community can share a library, media room, and gym. And also in a complex, there's a right now we see many examples of swimming pools for the residents. Thank you.